The illiterate of the 21st century, or the illiterate of this era, is not someone who cannot read and write anymore. It's someone who cannot generate AI prompts. Digital dominance has come to stay. You either adapt or you will be wiped away. My name is Egwurube. On today's podcast on the Silent Builders, we will be talking about digital dominance, the importance of it and how to use it, and ways at which you can use it to increase and literally quadruple your efficiency and improve your business. So what is digital dominance and what am I trying to talk about? This is the era, there are business developments happens in eras. So there was the agricultural age, the agrarian age, where the big thing then was the number of farmlands you own, and then after that became the mechanical era, where tractors literally replaced farmers. It replaced hoes and all those things we used in the farm before. So tractors could increase the efficiency of farm produce by more than 1,000%. What one tractor can plow hectares of land in a single day, something that will require hundreds of men to be able to achieve it. That was a form of dominance, and it moved from those who had massive labor to those who could acquire tractors. After that became the industrial era. The industrial era became the period of value addition to products. So it no longer became about farm produce and stuff like that. It became value added, the era of value addition. So what that is value addition? How to turn lemons to lemonades, how to turn orange to orange juice. So using an assembly line. And what's the benefit of an assembly line? It can produce millions and millions of packs in a single day. And it can produce consistently the same quality over a period of time. And in this era came things like scientific management, theories, where they began, even the famous 9 to 5 was instituted by one of these industrialists by the name Henry Ford. Why? Because they looked at setting up an assembly line where men could work efficiently with machines to achieve a certain output. And in order to be able to do that, they had to study how the behavior of men, behavioral sciences, and all of that came into play. But after that became the information age. The information age, of course, many of us are familiar with the word information age, and that revolution was altered by the introduction of the internet. But unfortunately, in Africa, it took us quite a long time for us to be able to adapt to this. Now we are in a different era now. This era is the AI era, and it's called digital dominance. Why did I choose the title digital dominance? Because believe me that with what is going on now, in the near future, we are going to have a one-man company that is worth billions of dollars. A one-man company, just one person, using multiple AI tools, they'll be able to create $1 billion company. Now, as an SME, as a small business, how do you begin to position yourself using this digital dominance? First thing you need to know is that a change of mindset. You need to start by changing your mindset. One of the challenges we have in Africa is we are late adapters. So we literally come late to the same. And if you see how development moves at the speed of light over the past decade, you will know that there is no time to wait for anybody. We need to move really fast. And that's why I'm doing this. So one of the things you should understand about digital dominance is that this is an era where a single AI prompt would have conducted a research that would have probably taken you 2 years to do, and you get the feedback, well-detailed feedback, just by using the right prompt. But I'm not going to go into the full details of AI and all of that in this video. I'm going to talk about one specific area, how to use this AI tool to increase your marketing efficiency. So let's call this digital dominance by improving your marketing efficiency. This is one thing I always try to drum into the ears of every small business or medium or small business owner. It is this: marketing makes money. Marketing is not an expense. It's not like you're throwing money away, except you don't know what you're doing. Marketing makes money. In fact, it's something that I recommend you print it, put it on your laptop, put it on your phone, do a design, print it everywhere until it drives into your skull that marketing is actually something that brings in revenue. It is not you spending money. And because why? I've noticed that many micro and small business owners don't have problems with spending money on operations. They don't mind spending money on operations. But when it comes to marketing, they seem to think that it's not really that important. But what is the essence if you have the best product and nobody knows about it? And then when we talk about marketing, marketing is not just advertising. It is a whole lot. So let me break it down using the simple framework, which is called the 4 P's of marketing. Marketing begins with your product design, product design, product offer, product market fit. There's a whole lot just in the product area. After that, it comes to, after product, you have your price. You have your price. Price is an important marketing element because price can determine how you are perceived. It can also determine your positioning in the market. It can also determine your profitability and sustainability of your business. So pricing, there is an entire strategy around pricing. Then you have your place. Now, based on your market positioning, that determines where you are supposed to sell your product. So it's not all product you just sell everywhere and sell to everybody. So you need to understand your market positioning. So that determines where you are, which platforms, which shops, which markets you're supposed to position your product. After that, we now come to promotions. Many people always think of marketing just at the angle of promotion. But promotion is just one element of marketing. And so when we talk about promotion, people only typically think of advertising, which is not bad. But that's the area I'm also going to throw a little bit more light on in terms of digital dominance. One of the things that we've been able to have in this era that we tend to take for granted are digital tools, majority of which are free. I said to someone quite recently, I said to them, do you know what it would cost to be able to gather 100,000 people to listen to you if you were doing a seminar or something? Just think of the scope of that. 100,000 people in a place gathered to listen to your seminar, your presentation, or whatever it is. 100,000 people. Think of the logistics. Where's the facility you would hire to be able to put 100,000 people in a space? That facility would literally need to be something like a stadium. Think of the cost of hiring that kind of facility. After you spend such an amount on the facility, you also think of the logistics, how the arrangement of the hall, how to put people together, the facilities that are required, the restroom and all, just the whole process of gathering 100,000 people together. Even if they are paying you, it is a whole lot of task and a whole lot of work to put 100,000 people to listen to what you have to say or to promote your business in presence of 100,000 people. But guess what? With digital platforms like Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, digital platforms like TikTok, you could literally generate 100,000 views within 30 days with a token of an amount. That's the equivalent of having 100,000 people in an audience listening to you talk about your product. But most times, many people do not understand the magnitude of this kind of opportunity. But the challenge of this era is not having this platform. The challenge is, because it's accessible to all and it is free, the greatest challenge becomes the challenge of attention. So in order for you to dominate in the digital era, you really need to learn the skill of grabbing attention and building a large community that listens and follows your activity and the progress of your business. So, talking about digital dominance, these are the blueprints you would literally require. First, you need to learn how to use digital tools. And one of such tools is AI tools. And there are a few basic AI that you really require. So you need tools like ChatGPT or DeepSeek, literally for research, for even strategizing. You really require this kind of tools, and learn how to prompt them to ask the right questions in order to get the right answers. It is really essential. Once you have done that, you also learn how to use a few other AI tools, which I'm not going to buttress on this video. And after that, you need to learn about digital marketing. If you're an SME, learn about digital marketing. If you cannot do it, get someone to do it for you. And at Kura Consult, we do this for businesses at very affordable rate. We can literally set up your digital marketing campaign in a way that you don't spend so much, but you achieve results that can give you 3 to 5x return on all your marketing spend. So all you need to do is, on the description of this video, you would see a link. Learn more about learn more about Kura Consult and hire us to run your services for you. So one of the experiences I had recently prompted me to do this video, and it had to do with digital marketing. As we are located in Nigeria, in the city of Abuja, imagine what are the probabilities of me finding out about the business in Nsratai local government in Akwa Ibom State. Now think of that. But the guy was able to find out about us. Why? Because of digital marketing. We're already working to see how we can develop a blueprint for his business in one remote local government in Akwa Ibom. And he's hiring us from Abuja. In order of our business, we were able to put out that information. Someone reached out all the way from Kenya. Now, sometimes we take these things for granted. But think of it, when the likes of Dangote's father, the MKO Abiola built international businesses in the era where even international flights were a scarce commodity to come by. How were they able to do it? They built international businesses. But now we have all these tools at our disposal. We are either not using it or we are just complaining about them. I could literally send a message. I could literally sit in my room and literally order a product from China and have it shipped to my room from the comfort of my home. That's called digital dominance. So whatever your game plan is, make sure that you are rightly positioned. Number 3, you need to get your messaging right. You need to really get your messaging right. You don't just go into the market anyhow. You get your messaging right, your market positioning, who is your customer. You need to do all of this analysis. And guess what? I've talked about using AI prompt. AI tools can help you with all of this. But AI tools can help you with all of this. And when you get all of this right, it's now time for execution. There's one thing AI cannot do for you: execute. You literally need to get up and do the execution by yourself. So begin to think about the digital space differently. Try to equate it with the traditional physical space, and then you understand the magnitude. So someone has 2 million followers on Facebook, 2 million followers. Like that person is literally a governor of a state. Is literally a governor of a state. 2 million followers. That's the equivalent of a governor of a state. So begin to build your digital blueprints And once you build your digital blueprint, you need to be deliberate, you need to be strategic. Don't just be the random joke teller on social media. I'm not against joke tellers, but if you're a business, begin to develop a digital blueprint where somebody can literally follow your track and they can tell, I want to do business with this person. Look at this YouTube video, for instance. Thousands of people are going to see it. Thousands of people are going to learn about it. Thousands of people are going to come to know about what we're doing. And maybe one or two might engage us. But most importantly, this gives us a platform to be out there. Your business also requires that level of visibility. And this can be done digitally. You don't need to be on the road sharing flyers and all of that. Let me use this as I close. In the city of Abuja, for those of us that are in Abuja, Nigeria, almost at every traffic point, you're going to see all these guys selling real estate with flyers, sharing flyers and all of that. And I wondered to myself, I did a seminar, I did a presentation as part of the things we do in Kura Consult. We do sales training and we develop your team if you need us to do that, to show them better ways of marketing your products, even if you want to do the guerrilla style of marketing. So all you need to do is reach out to us. Like I said, the link is on the description. But I did a training for a real estate firm, and I said to them, why are you giving flyers to people to be on the road when you can reach the people you really want to reach through their phones at a cheaper rate? And they were like, how? I said, how much does it cost you to print this flyer? So a typical flyer, if you look at the cost, comes to about 70 to 80 naira per one flyer that is being shared. And I said, you could target people digitally and share the same flyer digitally and reach the right people, because you literally have to select the people you want to reach and share this flyer to them digitally on their phones. Follow them everywhere they are, in their living room, in their toilet, anywhere they are sitting, pressing their phone. You literally get to them there and give them your flyer digitally. Why does it have to be physically? And the person was like, I never thought of it that way. Yes. You can design your flyer and distribute it digitally to the right audience using digital platforms. This is the era of digital dominance. You have to realign your strategies. And like our famous mentor would say, when you look at digital platforms, what do you see? Do you see opportunity? Do you see fun? Do you see noise? Do you see chaos? What exactly do you see? I'd like for you to share that in the comment section. If you like this episode, I'd like for you to subscribe, share, and let others learn from us as well. See you on the next episode.